It's back. So I promised you guys that the dual CPU 8-core Skulltrail rig that Tom from the UK sent over was going to be making another appearance, and that we were going to be kicking things up a notch, but I actually didn't think things were gonna go quite this well. So here's what I have in store for you. We're gonna be overclocking our CPUs. We're going to be upgrading to RTX graphics with SLI for bonus points. We're gonna be going from 8 gigs to a whopping 32 gigs of DDR2 memory, thanks to Paul from Ontario who sent over these bad boys. And thanks to our sponsor for today's video, we are gonna be hooking this whole thing up to Samsung's latest curved 240 Hertz gaming monitor. So why don't we get started with that? So let's start by getting our monitor cracked open. The C27RG5 is the world's first 240 Hertz curved gaming display. And guys, if you're regular viewers of this channel, I probably don't have to explain the advantages of a 240 Hertz display. Basically, it means smoother animations, and you are getting more information per second to your eyeball holes, which gives you a competitive advantage, as we actually demonstrated in a recent video. Now, another cool feature is that it happens to be G-Sync compatible. So that means that if you don't reach quite 240 Hertz, which I think might happen today, then you're gonna have G-Sync, as long as you've got an NVIDIA graphics card, to help smooth out some of the gaps there. So on the back, we've got to look at the I/O. We've got dual HDMI ports, display port, a USB service port, and a DC power in for the external power brick. And the main standout features of this guy are really going to be the 3000:1 contrast ratio, thanks to its VA panel, the bezel-less design, and this is a cool one. It's actually got a special low input lag mode, which for a 240 Hertz gaming monitor, I would certainly hope that everyone would enable, that I'm hoping to pair with some of NVIDIA's new driver optimizations to get a smoother, more responsive overall gaming experience on, well, very dated hardware here. So just like last time, our underpowered CPU is already apparent when we're doing something as simple as downloading and installing a graphics driver. We're sitting at 80% CPU utilization, and 40% of it is Google Chrome, which surprisingly wasn't even open. That's a new one. Good job, Google Chrome. What even happened there? Oh, there's another one. Wait, why is there another one? What even is this? And what do I even have open? I have 2 pages open. Well, we're off to a flying start here. After an excruciatingly slow driver install, our Titan X is still not showing up with the infamous code 43 error. So that's fine. We weren't really intending to use that anyway. So let's go ahead and restart it and throw in an RTX 2080 Ti. Okay. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. You know what? We're just gonna go full YOLO. We're gonna upgrade the RAM. We're gonna overclock the snot out of this thing. Let's just, holy, ow. So we're gonna put these 8 gig sticks in. So these are 2 gig sticks that we're replacing. We'll be handling those by the edges. Wow, those get really hot. I guess that makes sense. They did draw a lot more power than normal DDR2 modules, with, of course, the benefit being these high capacities. 32 gigs of RAM in 4 slots was a freaking lot back then. Meanwhile, now Corsair has gaming kits with 32 gig sticks in them. Now, before we go any further, I actually want to throw some active cooling on my memory here. Let's see, can I just kind of wedge that? Yeah, that should be fine. There it is, Skulltrail with 32 gigs, the stupidest configuration ever. Let's overclock this thing. So in the interest of time efficiency, we're not going to be dialing in the world's most careful overclock or anything like that. We're basically going quick and dirty, boom, we're going for 4 gigahertz, just like that. And at the same time, memory ratio, boom, 1:1. Okay, wish me luck. And we're posted. Okay, Windows stability is a whole other story though. Oh, need a drink from this water bottle, lttstore.com. So let's verify that everything is working as intended. We've got our RAM running at 400 megahertz. Wait, times 1 equals 400 megahertz, that's weird. Task Manager shows it at 667, which would be a double pump 333, which is what it's rated for, what this says. Oh.
Oh God.
Okay, so we bumped our MCH voltage and hopefully that'll be enough to get us stable. No! Let's try the 16 gig kit. So I bumped the front side bus voltage and I am changing these CPU fans to just run at the full 12 volts rather than be speed controlled, which should give us a little bit more chipset cooling. Better finish this run.
Yes!
Yes! Oh, okay. Check out this score. 733. Okay, it's not amazing, but that is a mere 90 points less than a 4770K. So, if we can find games that are suitably multi-threaded, we might actually have a decent gaming experience.
Not the youngling. You're not supposed to hold the lightsaber.
And this is how I always get myself into freaking trouble, because you get it working good enough. I mean, we've got 16 gigs of RAM in the thing, but I want more. 758. Oh, that is dangerously close to 3770, 4770 processor performance territory. All right, SLI then. SLI is enabled, so okay, we couldn't do RTX 2080 Ti, but we were able to do dual Titan X Pascals and G-Sync. Boom, G-Sync is working, enabled for both windowed and full screen mode, so that means we'll be able to run our games without any screen tearing, stuttering, or lag, because our Samsung monitor here changes its refresh rate to match up perfectly with the frames being rendered by the GPU. Is this a lock on the SLI connector? Oh my God, it has a, wait. Ah, it's a color switch. Wait, what the? It's funny, unless you look close, you'd never know this is like not a modern system. You know, these GPUs look pretty modern. That memory amount looks pretty modern. That core count looks pretty modern. Now, before we get into games, I wanted to give Adobe Premiere Pro another shot, just because, like, hey, we got 32 gigs of RAM now, right? Maybe it'll be a little better? Huh? Huh? Yeah, wow, that's actually a really good slideshow that we're watching here. That's at full resolution though, that's at 8K. Try 1/4. And we're done, bud, although we did manage to use more than 8 gigs of RAM, so hey, it wasn't all completely for nothing-ish, sort of. Let's play some video games. I figure we should start with Rocket League. I just want to see if it runs a little better this time than it did last time. Okay, so this was probably a mistake. I cranked the details up, and that was a mistake. Performance. We're still sitting at about 40 FPS. However, one key difference here is that I'm not getting the same really bad stutters that I was before. It's like actually kind of playable. Well, that doesn't give me much hope for our second game, but I did promise you guys more game testing today, so let's go ahead and give Doom a shot here. Did you see it skipping around like that? Whoa! So technically, we are running at 50 frames per second right now, but you guys, you can look at it, even through the camera. I'm sure you guys can tell that that is some chop-tastic animation going on there. So now we can see our frame times here. You can see there is a ton of inconsistency in them, which is why we're getting these really ugly skips. However, Doom has a trick up its sleeve. Now, as far as I know, this is gonna completely brick our compatibility with SLI, but one of the key advantages of the next gen APIs like Vulcan is supposed to be better handling of multiple CPU threads. So maybe we'll be able to take advantage of our 8 CPU cores a little better here. Oh, That is looking quite a bit more consistent. This is Doom running on a 10-year-old computer. We're at medium details right now, so I guess, man, we could probably push this harder. But that is actually butter smooth. This is actually awesome! Can you believe the CPU running this is 11 years old? You know what? Let's push for more. Oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Doom not responding. Power usage, very high. Stage 2 is everything on high except motion blur on low because I hate motion blur. Let's see how this goes. Oh, that is looking real good. Oh, I thought I felt a little stutter there for a second. It's definitely not bad though. We are running at anywhere from 80 to 100 plus frames per second. And I died. So now I was thinking, let's try something a little bit more modern. We're gonna fire up Apex Legends, which isn't, CPU does not have Popkins. Next up, Minecraft. Now I have to confess, I have played very little Minecraft. Couldn't really figure out what the hell I was supposed to do. This is a test for what may eventually be a like LMG Minecraft thing. Who binds run to control? Now the good news here is that, wow. Now the good news here is that we're actually running at anywhere from 100 all the way up to well over 200 FPS here, which is pretty freaking sweet. So for the first time today, we are actually getting the proper full smooth gaming experience of this monitor. Huh.
Here's a good segue. Subscribe.
Yeah, why aren't you subscribed to Linus Tech Tips yet? Minecraft told you to do it. You know what my biggest problem is with Minecraft though? The realism. This clearly wouldn't be burning in the rain, so we should probably... How do I ride the horse?
Somebody else's horse.
Well, who cares?
Do you want me to just teleport you somewhere far away so you don't screw anything up?
No, I don't care if I screw anything up. Can you build stuff underwater?
Yep.
How do you breathe?
Oh, but you're in creative mode.
What
right
just
now.
happened?
You have unlimited breath. You got out of the boat.
Well, that sucked.
You're swimming down to the bottom.
That's not swimming. If you go down to the bottom, it's sinking. See, this is what I'm talking about. It's not realistic. To give our poor system a fighting chance, we wanted to fire up a Vulcan game. So this is the Talos principle, and you can see it's actually not running great right now, anywhere from 20 to 45 FPS. So we're running DirectX 11 now, and we're gonna change that in hopes of, here we go, seeing a little bit of a better result here. All right, we're Vulcan now, boys. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Dang, Vulcan, you cool. Breathing fresh life into ancient hardware. So this is the new Wolfenstein 2. Oh crap.
Oh, God.
You know, it feels a little stupid to be fighting with this 8 cores total dual socket nonsense from 11 years ago when I have a 64 core 128 thread AMD EPYC that I like have to finish this video before I can play with. Really, we're on Ultra, Jake?
Give it up.
Does that seem kind of unfair?
You got 2 Titan XPs.
So this is a weird one because if I don't try to move the mouse, you see that? The animation is actually really smooth, but if I try to move the mouse, it just completely falls apart. So many new and exciting ways for a system to be horribly, horribly bottlenecked today. Thanks for the gun, bro. Wow, cool gun. All right, so that was fun, but if I was Samsung, I would be crazy to let me showcase a 240 hertz, wow, this thing is heavy, gaming display on only that. So let's pull out the big guns and see what the experience is supposed to be like. Now, Doom ran okay on our other rig, but that was at like medium details instead of having everything on high. And this is a lot smoother. Like there's no doubt whatsoever that high refresh rate gives you a clear competitive advantage. And when you have the FPS to back it up, obviously the whole concept works a little bit better. I'm actually pretty impressed with this monitor. The pixel response times are quite satisfactory. While we fire up CSGO, show you guys we got all the usual, different game modes, black equalizer, You can turn on a crosshair if you're a big fat cheater. Why would you pull out your knife? Like, what even is the logic here? Like, is it... I'd love to see the Dungeons and Dragons rulebook version of how they program the bot behavior to not be good. Is there just like a 20-sided die that it rolls and it'll just like pull out a random weapon if it comes up with, you know what I mean? Oh man, I got killed by it. This is a lot smoother. Like there's no doubt whatsoever that high refresh rate gives you a clear competitive advantage, and when you have the FPS to back it up, obviously the whole concept works a little bit better. So this monitor is equipped with both G-Sync and a 240 Hz refresh rate, so it's able to serve up every possible frame my PC is producing right now. That means I'm getting however many more opportunities per second to beat my opponents. I mean, I think we can all agree, with my skill, if I was online right now, I'd be winning for sure. So massive thank you to Samsung for sponsoring this video. Thanks to you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this one because you love bottlenecks, you can check out the video where we put a Titan RTX on the Latte Panda. I'll link that one for you. If not, then, sorry, I'll come up with a better recommendation for you next time.